Hey y'all, Downtown Austin Alliance's annual event, Future of Downtown, is just around the corner and tickets are on sale now. Future of Downtown is a high-energy event that gives us all a chance to connect, reflect, and look ahead together. The keynote speaker is Tavel Bristol-Joseph of Emmer & Wright Hospitality. And to make sure to keep you updated, they'll release the 2026 State of Downtown report at the event. Visit downtownaustin.com to get your ticket today. For the fourth year in a row, Southern Living crowned Franklin BBQ the best barbecue restaurant in Texas. And while we love Franklin, real Austinites know this town is filled with spots that deserve recognition. So today on CityCast Austin, we're revisiting my conversation with Texas Monthly's barbecue editor about where to find the best meat in town. And listeners, stay tuned after the conversation for a little midweek mood boost. It's Wednesday, April 15th. I'm Nikki Devon, and this is what Austin's talking about. Hello, I am here today with Daniel Vaughn, barbecue editor for Texas Monthly. What is up, Daniel? Thank you for being here.
Glad to be with you.
So, off top, in your opinion, does Austin have too much barbecue? Is there still room for innovation?
Those are two very different questions. There's definitely room for innovation. I think there is too much barbecue. I think there's too much barbecue really all over Texas. The number of barbecue joints we have is staggering, and new ones continue to pop up. If I could be more specific, one of the things I think we have too much of is like the Friday, Saturday, Sunday only barbecue, like the stuff that really has the limited hours. One of the reasons I love to see that Leroy and Lewis in Austin opened up on a Monday. They are closed on Tuesday, and Monday is one of those days that just doesn't have a whole lot of great options. So, as far as too much barbecue, for sure, I do think there's still plenty of room for innovation, though.
I gotta say, I agree with you 110%. It's too much. I also do not like okay, you got to get in line at 5 a.m. and then you can stay in line for 4 hours. I'm like, okay, nope.
Okay, well, then I do want to push back on that a little bit, just because
yes.
There's these famous places that happens, right? You got Snow's Barbecue about an hour outside of town, and then you have Franklin Barbecue in the city. But what else? Like, there are so few barbecue joints where that has to be your experience in order to eat there.
Yeah.
But the other day, I just did a pre-order at Franklin Barbecue.
That's the only way to do it.
And I only did it a couple of days ahead of time, and there were still options of every smoked meat to purchase. Now, you do have to pick it up. You got to pay for 5 pounds of meat, so that can maybe be a barrier to some folks. And you have to do takeout, right? So there's no eating at Franklin Barbecue if you order it that way. And Snow's Barbecue is quite the event, where the last time I went there and stood in line at 5:30 in the morning, and I was 78th in line at 5:30 in the morning.
So here's the thing, though. I don't like early mornings and I don't like lines. I will say, my caveat is when I went to Snow's and did it at Snow's, worth it. It was worth getting up at 4 a.m. It was worth standing in line. I met all these people, but then, by 10 a.m. I was tired and I had to go home and take a nap and try to start my day all over again.
Well, right. But you had to get up so early anyway. So that nap about 10 a.m. actually made sense. But yeah. And, I think anybody who shows up at Snow's Barbecue or Franklin Barbecue without the expectation of a line, without the attitude of basically they're going to a big tailgate party that just happens to end at the cutting block of a barbecue joint. If you go in with that attitude, then it's fine. But if you go in like, I'm just going to pop in here for some barbecue, you're going to be really, really disappointed.
Yeah, that's not happening. So you published a list of the best barbecue spots across Austin.
Yes.
And so I'm so curious about this list. What is your criteria for putting these lists together? When you visit a barbecue joint in town, do you look for something special to be like, okay, this is a standout, this place is special? Or do you go into every place, it's like, okay, clean slate, show me what you got? What's the criteria?
Yeah, well, a lot of the reason that we we renew this guide, these city guides that we have across the state and the Austin barbecue guide. We renew them every time we have a new top 50 list, or we also do a top 25 best new barbecue joints 2 years after our top 50. That top 50 list only happens every 4 years. And so when that new list comes out, our guide for Austin really needs a refresh. And so we've got to, mark all the places that are in our top 50 list, all our honorable mentions. But also we have fresh opinions on all of the barbecue joints in Austin because we've just gone on that massive search for our top 50. So we were able to identify all kinds of places that, we can still find. Maybe that's that special item, or maybe it's the fact that they're open a lot of hours, or that they're a little more accessible. In the end, it's barbecue that I would be happy recommending you go eat, right? That I think you're going to have a good experience at. And in some of the places, I'll point out like specific items to order, but there's a lot of these places where you can order anything and you're going to be happy. So, it's a big mix like that, and it also is a way of just reminding people who live in Austin or are visiting Austin that there are lots of great barbecue options outside of our top 50, even outside of our honorable mentions. And it allows us to talk about some of the new spots that have opened up since then.
It's been really, I gotta say, like as an Austinite, it's been really fascinating to watch. For a while, it felt like every month I was hearing about a new barbecue place. Mm-hmm. So this list that you did for Texas Monthly, the top 50, you visited 319 barbecue joints, which first of all, just it just sounds insane. But deciding out of 319, narrowing that down to 50, Austin still made 2 spots in the top 10. And then there were so many others overall. Austin's always had barbecue. We've always had good barbecue. Central Texas, Lockhart, surrounding cities. We've been a pretty good barbecue spot, but it feels like we're becoming this like Leviathan of barbecue.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
I mean, it's getting crazy. So what makes Austin barbecue scene stand out? What makes our scene so special?
Well, I mean, one of the big things is that all these cities you're talking about didn't used to really be the bastions of great barbecue, right? You had the rural spots where everybody was going. When I started this job 12 years ago, if you were coming to Austin, really what you were going to be planning out for your barbecue adventures was leaving Austin, right? You're going to be going up to Taylor, Texas to Louis Miller Barbecue. You're going to go over to Cooper's and Llano, maybe. It's certainly down to Lockhart, Kreitz Market and Smitty's and Black's, or on down to City Market and Luling. Mm-hmm. You were looking at places outside of Austin to go visit. The Salt Lick, I mean, that was a great little road trip to take outside of town. You really felt like you were outside the city in that classic barbecue experience. And really after Franklin Barbecue opened in 2009, I think that was the start of Austin being a real like barbecue destination inside the city limits. And, now just more places have followed. More places that want to be in Austin now because they want to really show off their barbecue in the midst of all these other greats, because they want that sort of competition. Like take KG Barbecue, Kareem El Gayesh comes in from Cairo, Egypt, and he comes to Austin, doesn't know anything about barbecue, doesn't even know what a brisket is. Like,
his story is wild
and is completely floored. And his original idea was to go back to Cairo and really start cooking barbecue there and feed it to this audience who was completely unaware of what Texas barbecue is, and really would have no competition that way. And instead he decides, you know what? Austin's where it's at. I'm going to move back to Austin. I'm going to open a food truck in the most competitive barbecue city, maybe in America, and just go ahead and serve my Texas barbecue there and hope that people aren't too skeptical about this Egyptian coming in cooking Texas barbecue.
Yeah.
And so when it really hit me what KG barbecue like means to Austin is one of the last times I went there, he had a little brochure in the window of a brisket class that he was teaching. And I was like, wow, the Egyptian is teaching Austinites now how to cook brisket. Like that's just a
Wow.
incredible full circle moment. But yeah, it is the center of barbecue energy, and more places continue to open. I mean, even on this list, like I want to point out. Waylon J's barbecue is not on this list because Waylon J's came and they opened up in the Salty Sow space and really made a big impact really quickly. And then
I mean,
I
it's
think,
good.
but it's gone. I think Salty Sow, like I guess, just kicked them out.
Where are they? I don't know where they are. They had like an opening thing and that's it.
They haven't found a new space to open up yet. And so I guess what I'm saying is like things change in Austin barbecue so quickly that like I had a new barbecue spot on this list initially. And by the time I was publishing the list, they had already closed up shop and were looking for a new spot. So yeah, certainly no shortage of great barbecue in the city of Austin. And I do want to add too, like I live in Dallas. I love coming to Austin for a barbecue trip because I know y'all complain about Austin traffic, but getting around to all the great Austin barbecue joints is so much faster than going to Houston or going from Dallas to Fort Worth. Like they're all pretty much centered right there together. So it makes hitting a bunch of barbecue joints in Austin a lot easier. The logistics are just easier.
You bring up KG Barbecue, which is just, I remember tasting his barbecue and tasting his sides and being like, I mean, straight up, like, this is some shit I've never had before. Because I won't lie to you. I'm however many generation Texan, born and raised in Austin. Sometimes I get tired of barbecue because I've been having barbecue my whole life. Like my daddy barbecued every Sunday. So it's like not only do you just get inundated with barbecue your entire life. So honestly, sometimes I'm like, yeah, I'm good on the barbecue, bro. I got it. But I remember going to KG and being like, oh, all right. Okay. Like this is delicious and it's different.
Yeah, I've never seen pomegranates and pistachios on my barbecue.
Exactly. So good. Hey y'all, it's time for your weekly reminder that the pros at Window Nation can help you get new energy-efficient windows at a great price. The weather is kind of crazy right now, so if you're like me, you're alternating between your AC and your heater. But you know what could give you a bit more control over your house temperature? New windows. Replace your old or builder-grade windows with custom-built, high-quality windows from Window Nation. They measure 3 times to ensure your windows fit perfectly. The installation crews finish the job in 1 day or less. And you can choose from over 1,500 styles and colors to make sure you get exactly what you want for your home. And most importantly, the windows come with a lifetime warranty. And right now, Window Nation's The More You Buy, The More You Save sale is going on. So you could save up to 50% off all windows for your home with 0% interest financing for 5 years. But hurry up because the sale ends soon. So schedule a fast, free consultation now at windownation.com. In an article a while back, you wrote that Texas brisket specifically has become so reliably excellent that it no longer feels like an achievement. And that, I can't tell you how much I feel that. Like, I feel that so hard because I'm like, okay, like, yeah, you did a great brisket. It's just like, I know it's hard. I know it's a big deal, but also, okay. So I want to know specifically what you mean by that. And what does it take these days for a pitmaster to surprise you?
Well, yeah, like you said, a brisket, great smoked brisket is sort of the foundation, right? And if you don't start with that, then, it's harder to take a barbecue joint seriously. And because of that, it's just also good that it does become a little boring, and to get a good slice of brisket. And I will get to an answer to your question, but I was in Ireland for a big festival, the Big Grill Festival. And there were pit masters there from across the UK and Ireland and Europe. And there were several Austin barbecue joints there as well. So we had John Bates from Interstellar was there, Ali Clem from La Barbecue. And we were going around eating all this food. I was judging the best dishes from each one of these places with all these Irish judges, all these different Irish food writers. And I was the only American, only Texan. And we got to La Barbecue, and they gave us a slice of brisket on a piece of white bread with some pickles, onions, and barbecue sauce. And I was like,
Mm,
"Yeah, this is good. It's a really good slice of brisket. It's
yeah, solid.
this hits all the boxes, right?" And but also in my mind, like nothing special, like nothing, especially from La Barbecue. Like we expect great brisket from La Barbecue, and these Irish food writers were just like, "This is the best thing I've ever eaten. This is the best thing I've ever put in my mouth. Like I can't even imagine that
Oh,
something could taste like this." And it did give me that little greater appreciation for the thing that I eat all the time.
yeah.
Um,
Okay,
so
we're spoiled.
yeah, yeah. All right. So what I'm looking for, to really wow me is like just that creativity, like you're talking about, and you go to a place like Komori. I mean, Komori's been around for a really long time doing a Japanese Texas barbecue,
Hmm.
and just really the way that they present it. So they have smoked brisket, but they don't just give you a slice of smoked brisket. They give you a smoked brisket bento box, and it's got the rice, and it's got the seaweed, and it's got like all the condiments to come along with it for you to make your own little roll. And it's yeah, that's an exciting way to present brisket. You go to Distant Relatives, the food truck, and you get their smoked chicken, and they finish it off in that clarified butter and get you that nice crispy skin, making a chicken quarter exciting.
Yeah.
Of course, you go to Leroy and Lewis on a Saturday, and you get their massive pork belly rib,
Oh my
right? Where
God.
they still have the pork belly attached to the spare rib, and yeah, it's smoked, and it's heavily seasoned. It's salty. It's sweet. It's in this
Mm,
like in this maple glaze. But Leroy and Lewis is one of those places that when they first opened that brick and mortar, they didn't have brisket on the everyday menu. They've since relented, and they've
that's
gone to
crazy.
brisket
That's
every day.
crazy.
But they really wanted their customers to experience beef barbecue, and whether that was smoked and seared steaks that they
Yeah.
offer as their steak night special, or the smoked beef cheeks, the flank steak, the tri-tip, like all these different beef cuts that they were offering. And they're doing that because they're using locally raised beef. And so they need to use a whole lot of cuts from this rancher that they are getting their beef from. They can't just order, boxes and boxes of briskets and leave it there. So, I mean, I could name many others, but
Yeah.
I go back to KG Barbecue and the way that they have really embraced lamb. And Kareem embracing lamb goes back to his Egyptian roots, but it also goes back to the roots of Texas barbecue, where
Hmm.
if you're looking at the big barbecue events that were happening around the turn of the 19th century or the turn of the 20th century, then you were going to have beef, pork, and lamb and goat
Yeah.
were really common items to have on that barbecue menu. And now he's bringing lamb back in so many ways with whether it's the smoked lamb chops, the lamb belly, the lamb ribs, with the za'atar seasoning over top, so really embracing that old school, protein of Texas barbecue.
It's so interesting to think about how spoiled we are. I have a lot of friends all over that we kind of argue about what's the best barbecue, who's got the best barbecue in the country. And for me, just because nobody can beat Texas, in my opinion. It feels like something. It's in our DNA.
Damn straight.
It's in our DNA. So you can talk about, it's like people from, the Carolina, like North Carolina, South Carolina,
Oh, Kansas City. That's cute.
Kansas City. Yeah, that's cute. That's real cute. But, but barbecue is in our DNA. It's what we do. Some of my favorite memories as a kid is, was going to Elgin to Southside after church, and everybody just sitting on these big long picnic tables with brown butcher paper and just putting your meat and your food on brown butcher paper. We have it all. And that's another reason why I like Austin barbecue scene specifically, is because we have everything. We have really expensive barbecue. We have affordable barbecue. So I'm curious, I got to ask you, what are your picks for, both reliable, cheap barbecue or affordable barbecue and really expensive barbecue?
Yeah, well, I mentioned Leroy and Lewis before, and it is
Yeah.
fantastic, but it adds up quick. Uh, I think they have the most expensive brisket in Texas. When we wrote our article, They were the most expensive at $40 a pound for their brisket.
Wow.
And I think because we called them out on that, yeah. But for inexpensive, if you're at the airport and you're leaving the airport grounds in Austin, go to Henry's Barbecue. It's right. There's not much to look at the place, right? It is down and dirty. Just it is a barbecue shop, and that is what they focus on. If you go to the barbecue counter, you get your barbecue. There's brisket and ribs and sausage and and some pulled pork. And a few sides, but it is good. It's inexpensive. It's very accessible. Like open 5 or 6 days a week, and there's never a long line that you're going to be standing in.
So if I am somebody who just dropped down on this planet and I've never had barbecue, and I come to you and I'm like, listen, we got 12 hours. Where in Austin would you take just like a straight up newbie like that you're like, this is what, because there is, Were
you asking for one place? Please don't.
No. It doesn't have to be like narrow it to like 3.
Well, I mean, I'd start out with Mum Foods. They're not open early, but they do have breakfast, and they do this egg pastrami and egg sandwich. So they make a beef tallow brioche bread in-house. They brine and smoke all their own pastrami. And then they make this like an egg souffle almost in a sheet tray, and they bake it real slow in the oven. It's real fluffy. It's got a little nutmeg in there. Like,
oh my God.
And a slice of cheese, pastrami, a square of that egg, that fluffy egg on that beef tallow brioche. I don't know if there's a better breakfast sandwich in Austin, unless you go to Briskets.
Ooh. I haven't been there yet.
Which is spelled like biscuits. And they make, like, biscuits are their specialty. Like, they make these incredible biscuits and fill them with whatever. Like, whether it's like a maple blueberry sausage with blueberry jam that they make in-house, or pork belly with apples. But I'm getting off topic here. All right. So
you're making me hungry. I'm into it.
Mum Foods, and get that breakfast sandwich. Then I'm going to take you over to KG Barbecue, which we've said plenty about. And then you get yourself a beer. And then right next door is Parish Barbecue. They did just get recognized with the Bib Gourmand by Michelin, so they must be doing something right. And I reviewed them and really love their barbecue. They do a like Cajun version of Texas barbecue. So they got this cornbread dressing and they do when I went, it was a brisket etouffee boudin.
What?
Yeah. Exactly. And then one of their specialties is their house cured ham. And they've got these pistolets, which is a kolache dough, which is baked into a roll, and then they deep fry them right before they serve them to you. And you crack open one of those pistolets, put some of that smoked ham in, some of their Creole mustard sauce, like.
Oh my God, that sounds so good.
It is so good.
I haven't gotten a chance to go to Parish yet. Damn.
Yeah. And it's right behind Batch Brewing, so another place where you can get yourself a beer while you're eating. And Austin has that food truck culture, and those two spots being literally like a block from each other. At dinner time, Kamori, as I mentioned, open only at dinner, but Style Switch really would be my spot to go for dinner. It's, again, one of those places that's really accessible. They're only closed one day a week, and they are open for lunch and dinner. And the lines are never crazy long, and even if they are long, they move swiftly. Their specials are always great. They have different specials every day.
Yeah.
They do smoked prime ribs sometimes, or smoked tri-tip. They've got this chimichurri sausage, which is so good. Their ribs are just some of my favorite. They're pork ribs. They do this sweet and spicy glaze on them. It's just spicy enough that you have to call it spicy, but like it's not going to be overpowering. Their sliced brisket is flawless, and they just do this a lot of great sausages as well. So I love Style Switch.
It's consistent.
Is that enough for a day?
Yeah, I think that's a very full day. Yeah. That's a day full of meat sweats.
And then Micklethwait Barbecue is another one of those that they just recently started opening up for dinner. And I stopped in recently, and they were doing this carne asada taco. Oof. And it was the Terrace Major cut, which was smoked and then grilled.
What is the Terrace Major cut? What is that?
The Terrace Major, it's a cut from the shoulder.
Okay.
But it is known as like the mini fillet. So it's like
Mm.
this one muscle out of the shoulder, but it's smaller than a fillet, of course, but it has that same sort of level of tenderness, and it's delicious. And
Man.
they do that on a taco or on a house made tortilla, and yeah, that was something special. I mean, I could go down the line and give you.
Listen,
Oh,
Micklethwaite, as a side note, Micklethwaite has some of the best mac and cheese in the entire city.
yes,
It is so goddamn good. It's so
yeah.
good.
I have a draft of an article that I've had around for a few months. I'm not sure if the world is interested, but it's like my top mac and cheeses that I've had in Texas barbecue, and Micklethwait is on that list for sure.
Listen, okay, I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody is interested. So go ahead and go ahead and release that because I will chase mac and cheese. I'll chase mac and cheese quick.
Well, okay. So do you like the creamy mac and cheese, or you liked it baked with the cheese, melted cheese over top?
I like creamy mac, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like honestly, Micklethwaite has a nice. Their creamy mac is thick, and I
Yeah.
don't like runny mac,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know how they do it, but they have smokiness to it. It's so good. It's like thick and creamy because I find like sometimes people struggle with the baked mac; it gets dry, and I can't. And dry mac and cheese makes me sad.
Well, and mac and cheese is one of those. I think it's more challenging to serve at a barbecue restaurant than most people, and sometimes the barbecue joint owners themselves give it credit for. That pasta gets overcooked if you let it sit in that warm tray too much. If you
Yeah,
bake it and you don't have enough sauce in there to begin with, it does dry out, and that pasta
yeah,
soaks up all the moisture. And so, yeah, the places that do the smaller batches, or certainly the places that are only open for a few hours a day,
yeah.
have that upper hand when it comes to great mac and
That's
cheese. But
true.
yeah, see, you were asking, am I the barbecue snob? Really? Like, that's my handle, BBQ snob on Instagram and on X. But I am the snob when it comes to what I recommend. I'll eat it all. But it sounds like you might be the mac and cheese snob,
Oh, I'm a huge mac and cheese snob.
and that's a good thing, right?
Yes.
Like, you eat a lot of mac and cheese, you know what you like, you know what's great, and you know what to recommend.
Exactly, exactly. I am definitely a mac and cheese snob. For years, I had the lock on mac and cheese for my family. I'm like, nobody else can make it because y'all don't know what y'all doing. Just let me do it. Let me make it. But you know what, Eva Ruth, our producer, just said the burnt beans mac and cheese with hot Cheeto crumbs, she says is the best in the state.
Okay. I
I haven't had it, so I don't know.
I
I
mean,
haven't been to Burnt Beans. It's in Seguin.
it's our number one barbecue joint, Burn Bean is.
Yep.
Hot take. I think hot Cheetos on mac and cheese is unnecessary.
Ooh,
Yeah.
I agree.
It's a crutch, right? Like, make
It
your mac and cheese
is.
good. But my one of my favorite things though at
Mm.
it's pasta. It's not mac and cheese, but it burnt bean. Now we're getting a little outside of Austin here, I know, but the fideo, Friday fideo. They do fideo and smoked chicken on Fridays at Burnt Bean, and that fideo. Ooh,
Oh, I haven't
man.
had a day in so long. Oh my
Mhm.
God. That sounds so
I
good.
think it's one of those sides we've seen in the 12 years that I've worked at Texas Monthly. I've seen mac and cheese really grow in popularity in barbecue, right?
Mm-hmm.
And corn of
Oh
all
yeah.
varieties, whether it's cream
Yeah.
corn or elotes or whatever, right? Fideo. We need more fideo in Texas barbecue.
Fideo is so good. It's
It
so
goes.
underrated.
Yes.
Once you get Fideo, you're like, why have I not had this my whole life? It's so good. So, okay. Now, you are the first full-time barbecue editor and you essentially eat barbecue for a living. And I
Yes.
gotta ask you, do you ever get tired of it? Do you ever get tired? Like, do you ever have a day where like, man, I don't want to put any barbecue in my mouth today. I can't do it.
Of course,
Yeah.
those days come around. But I eat barbecue a lot. I eat it pretty often. I I know my limits. I know that if I'm going out for, say, a top 50 search, right, and I need to eat a lot of a big variety of a menu from a bunch of different places, that like 3 barbecue joints is about all I can do. After
Yeah.
that, like the 4th barbecue joint is just a little unfair to them because I am so sick of it
You're
by that
done.
point.
Yeah.
And I also know that 3 days of heavy barbecue eating, that is definitely my limit. Like that 4th day, no thanks. And part of it is really like salt fatigue. Like
Yeah.
your palate starts to not really register the salt quite as much because a lot of barbecue these days is like heavily salted, right? And
also, it affects how you taste it.
yeah, it really does. Like you
Oh,
sit down for a meal and you're just like, this
yeah.
doesn't taste salty at all. But like, I know there's a lot of salt on this. Maybe come back to this another day.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, it's hydration too. Like
Yeah.
you gotta stay hydrated. Trade one of your beers for a Topo Chico. Like
That was actually going to be my last question. My last question was going to be perfect barbecue drink. Like, what's your go-to drink?
Well, when I want to punk somebody from out of town, I give them Big Red because it's terrible, and I want to see their reaction.
You don't like Big Red?
No, God,
Daniel,
no. I don't want to drink bubble gum. I want to chew it. Dr. Pepper, man.
No.
If it's sweet, it's going to be Dr. Pepper.
I love Big Red.
But I drink a ton of iced tea.
Oh, yeah.
I drink so much iced tea.
That was going to be my go-to was going to be iced tea.
Okay, so what's your ratio? You do all sweet, all unsweet? How do you do it?
So I like to ask for sweet tea because I don't like the work of having to get my tea perfectly sweetened.
Mm-hmm.
But I found in Austin recently, when I get sweet tea, it's not as sweet as it used to be. It used to be you could go somewhere and get sweet tea, and I'm like, oh, my teeth hurt. This is too much sugar, and I would always regret it. But now I think because we're like leaning more towards being a healthier city, people aren't putting as much sugar in their sweet tea. So I'm like, sweet tea, lemon. That's and lots of lemon. Like I'm edging towards an Arnold Palmer for me. But,
I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, if I'm getting it, myself, if I'm getting the iced tea myself, I start with the sweet, and I do about, I want to do about 40, 40, 20. I do 40 sweet, 40 unsweet, 20 lemonade.
I like that.
And so like Kreitz Market in Lockhart, they've got them all right beside each other, and they that lemonade and that sweet tea is sweet. And so yeah, that's a great place to get that mix.
Oh, I'm gonna have to try that because I think that you're making a good distinction because lemonade and sweet tea is very different from putting lemons in your sweet tea, and I think far superior. That's like very country and very southern. Mixing lemonade and sweet tea, I love it. I love that.
But if you're out on a big barbecue road trip, do whatever we're telling you, the tea, the Dr. Pepper, stay away from the Big Red. And then get a bottle of water for the road in between each stop. Drink a bottle of water in between each one so that you stay hydrated and you can eat more barbecue.
Prepare for those meat sweats. Daniel, thank you so much for being here. This has been so fun. Even though you don't like Big Red, I have enjoyed this conversation so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much. And I hope you have a great barbecue lunch today.
Okay, y'all, here is your midweek mood boost. For the 13th year in a row, tuition at Austin Community College for the 2026-27 academic year will remain $85 per credit hour with fees for in-district students. This keeps the college as one of the most affordable options for higher education in the nation. For in-district students who take 30 credit hours a year, the tuition cost with fees is about $2,550. The average annual cost of tuition for in-district community college or two-year university students in the U.S. is $3,598. That is 41% higher than ACC's rate. Associate Vice Chancellor of Advising Monique Johnson-Jones said, keeping tuition low increases the chance a student will enroll in college or continue classes, and it gives students who are anxious about starting college one less thing to worry about. And she also says, my favorite thing, it's expensive to live in Austin. And so anything that can be done to reduce the financial burden to our students, both current and prospective, is something that we want to work to do. Hell yes. And if y'all are interested, fall registration for the next academic year begins May 11th if you're a current or former student. If you're a newbie, it begins May 15th. And, during a time when everything is getting more expensive and more unattainable, it's a breath of fresh air to see ACC doing what it takes to provide access to education for everyone. That's all for today here on CityCast Austin. You can find links to Daniel's reporting in our show notes. And if you enjoyed our show, you already know, tell your friend that you want to take to go have some barbecue. Rate our show, leave us a review, and subscribe to our CityCast Austin newsletter. And if you really love CityCast Austin and you love these insider tips, support us. Become a neighbor at membership.citycast.fm. We'll be back tomorrow morning with more news from around the city. Bye, y'all.